Hey guys, it's Amy. I owe you a video. It's been pretty chaotic lately. When I wanted to make this video last weekend, when I did the Central Carolina Grand Prix, I hardly had a voice. Not sure what that's about. My throat didn't hurt. I felt fine. My voice was just MIA for most of the competition too, actually. The day after I got back from the competition, my husband wasn't feeling well. Lo and behold, he ended up positive with COVID. And then 2 days after he tested positive, my grandmother, who's been fighting pancreatic cancer, went into hospice. So I waited until I was sure I was going to stay negative, and I flew up from Atlanta to Indianapolis, which is why I'm out here freezing. Very different weather than Georgia. But I wanted to kind of give you guys a rundown of my experience last weekend. It was a shit show, but it was a fun shit show. So the first day, I started off great. I cleared my first lane and I was like, oh yeah, I got this. And I was doing okay. And then about halfway through, I couldn't even tell where my shots were going. I had no idea what was going on, and I thought maybe it was the temperature because it started off much cooler and then ended up warming up. I want to say we started off at like 55 degrees in the mornings, and then it would end up around like 85 in the afternoons, which doesn't seem like much, but I do know that my gun was in the sun quite a bit, so I thought maybe that was it. I was ranging off by like 5 yards. So after the first night of competing, we went to the side-in range and completely redid my scope wheel, rearranged it and everything. Spent hours, and I got to the point where it was just, there was no rhyme or reasons to it. There was no consistency. It was extremely frustrating. We had already had a long day of shooting, and my dad was like, you know what, let's just go home and clear our minds, or go back to the hotel, clear our minds. We'll try again tomorrow. So the next day we get there bright and early so that I can get to the side-in range before we compete. And it didn't make any sense. My up-close shots were 1 inch to the right. My far-away shots were 1 inch to the left. So I couldn't really adjust my windage, because if I adjusted it to where I was shooting on, at 30 yards, at 50 yards, I'm in a whole different galaxy. So I shot 6 lanes. And out of 6 lanes, it's 24 shots. Out of 24 shots, I hit 3. So at that point, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this for 15 lanes. I'm done. So I went to go put my gun away, and I got to shoot with Artie from Lexington Air Guns. And Artie goes, you can just shoot my gun. And I was like, no, it's fine, Artie. I'll just score you. It'll be fine. And he goes, nonsense. Go put your gun away. You're going to have fun. You're going to shoot my gun. The first target I shot out with his Thomas Air fell. And I've never shot a PCP before, so this was a very different experience, and I wasn't expecting to hit anything. And I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling pretty crappy about myself because I wasn't even hitting metal on some of my shots. They were all over the place. It was awful with my gun. But I shot the rest of the match with his gun, and it was so much fun. I had a blast. He really saved the experience for me. And that's why I do these things. I don't go because I am necessarily wanting to compete. It's the experience, and getting to see other people and their techniques, and he had some really good advice for me, and the fact that he let me shoot his gun for like the entire second day was awesome. I had so much fun. But that was pretty much it. It was extremely frustrating. We got home, and we were, it wasn't even grouping anymore, and I had no idea why. My dad put a different scope on, one that he had previously, and shot fine. So we have concluded that there's something wrong with the scope, and so I'm going to try to warranty it out, because as you guys know, when I shot at the Carolina Classic back in May, I came immediately after that and bought my Hawk Sidewinder. So it's newer. I'm not really sure what's going on with it, but I'm going to try to warranty it out. But we've got other stuff in the works too. My dad's gonna help me build a stock for my gun with a knee riser and a cheek riser, which will help me be able to expand my horizons as far as my shooting positions are concerned. I'm kind of limited right now without that knee riser, so hopefully I'm hoping to change my position up a little bit so it's a little bit more steady. But that's pretty much the experience. Other than the fact that my gear was not working for me, I had a wonderful time. I always do. Everyone we shoot with is amazing, and they always have great advice, and you know, I fit right in. I mean, we shoot with some of the best people. But thanks again for your patience, and I'm sorry for sounding a little kind of out of sorts for this one. My brain's a little fried. We're not getting very much sleep up here, but I appreciate you watching, and any questions or comments, just leave them below and I will do my best to answer them. Thanks, guys.